Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. In this video, we will discuss NVIDIA stock price movement for today and will try to make an assessment for rest of the week using technical charts and fundamentals. We'll also discuss impact of Middle East conflict on the stock. Now, let's get started. On your screen, you see NVIDIA stock chart for today. It's a good thing that Nvidia moved up today, probably about 1.64%. That's a very good sign. This tells that market is paying less attention to the Middle East conflict. As I mentioned yesterday, that next 24 hours are important. If Israel does not respond back to Iran with an attack, then market will move on. And this is exactly what we are seeing today. As for the major indices, you see very little drop today compared with yesterday. S&P down 0.21%, Nasdaq 0.12%, and Dow Jones is positive 0.17%. So now market is paying more attention to the earnings season. But if we see Israel attacks back on Iran next day or two, you will again see some volatility and disturbance in the market. But we cannot predict that. Now moving on, the last 5 days, the lowest point 834, the highest is 908. But you see up and down in last 5 days. Now let's take a look last 20 days. You see in last 20 days, the highest point is 962 and the lowest is 837. In last 20 days, you see Nvidia mostly moved downward after making an all-time high at 962. In last 180 days, last 6 months, you see that Nvidia got momentum sometime in January, and then after that it started to go up and made a high at 962, and then the little drop after that. But no major drop happened so far. And since the earnings season are coming, I do not see any major drop coming on Nvidia. Regarding my position, I did not open any buy or sell position today because I was watching the market again today. Probably I'll try to place a buy position tomorrow if Nvidia goes down below 860. That's my target. And I think I made a right decision to sell 30% of my stock at 900. Now let's take a look at technical charts. You see 90-day 1-hour interval chart for Nvidia on your screen. The highest point is 962 and the lowest point is 450. And also we have RSI. So RSI at this point is 52. We see the downward movement on RSI yesterday. It touched around 30. Then after that it started to go up, and that's a good sign. In a 30 minutes chart, see RSI is at 55. It's kind of lie in the middle. So there's more room for Nvidia to go up tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Now let's take a look MACD. You see that MACD after going below zero line, starting to catch up, and now is slightly above zero line. It's a good sign that the negative momentum that we saw yesterday, is not building up further. So it's a good sign. So I see that Nvidia is not under pressure at this point. Now take a look 1-hour chart. In a 1-hour interval, you see after going below zero line, MACD is starting to go up today, and it's about touching the zero line. And that's a good sign. This tells that there is no downward pressure on Nvidia at this point. Now, let's take a look Fibonacci levels. We saw these levels yesterday as well. The next support level was 849, and I mentioned that 849 is still a good support level. So at this point, market did not go below 849, and that's a good sign. At this point, Nvidia is at 875. It's trying to go further up. The next resistance is 892. Will be interesting to see if it can break 892 this week. I'm positive it might break 892 this week. And after 892, the next strong resistance is at 962. Let's draw some. We want to see resistance between 892 and 962. Let's draw Fibonacci level with a shorter interval. Now I have the Fibonacci levels with a shorter interval. I selected 771 as the next lowest point and the highest is 962. So after 889 and the next resistance I see 917. So if Nvidia breaks 889, it can go further high to touch 917. After that, the next resistance is 962. Now let's take a look news regarding Nvidia. You see Nvidia news on your screen. I see lots of optimism regarding Nvidia from analysts. So starting with this guy, Evercore, they improved the Nvidia rating to outperform, and now the target is 1160. Another one that is Taiwan, that says AI boom and the US expansion to drive Q1 earning growth. Another one you see here that says Nvidia is not just a chip and it could go up about 30%. So other than those news, I do not see anything negative news regarding Nvidia. As of this point, other than the Middle East conflict, I do not see Nvidia to go down below 800 before earnings. Now let's take a look at other AI stocks. Starting with Palantir. Palantir is down 0.09%. AMD up 1.96%. SoundHound up 2.27%. SMCI, wow, 10.6%. If you take a look at my yesterday video, I mentioned you guys that SMCI forward PE is comparatively lower than the other AI stocks. So there is some potential SMCI can go further up compared with other AI stocks. And that's what we see today is 10% up. Avago 1.4% up. And Nvidia 1.64% up. So all of the stocks are up today except Palantir, and that is slightly down 0.09%. So good news for the AI stocks. I hope this momentum can continue tomorrow as well. Now let's take a look at this sheet that I went over yesterday. You see that I mentioned you guys that SMCI 31.83 comparatively lower forward P ratio than the other AI stocks. And also I mentioned that the projected earnings is better than the last quarter actual. And also last quarter surprise was 13%. So SMCI was a good pick for today. If somebody who bought SMCI today, they already made 10%. But it cannot continue to happen every day, right? So 10% is a big jump in one day. Also, I plan to do the earnings analysis for all of these stocks before the earning release. So starting with Tesla, that is due on next week. And that's all for today. If I summarize today's discussion, as we noted, market went up today, and that's a good sign. Market is not paying too much attention to the Middle East conflict, as we haven't seen any strike back from Israel. Now market is paying more attention to the earnings season. So regarding Nvidia, I do not see Nvidia to go below 800 before the earning release. I see the positive momentum started building on Nvidia. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more tomorrow. Take care.